Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Smackdown. And tonight's Smackdown was held from the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. And gotta say, tonight's Smackdown, I thought it was a solid, decent show. I really enjoyed Smackdown tonight. We had three qualifying matches for Money in the Bank. So WWE still building towards Money in the Bank. They have a long ways to go, 6 weeks to go until the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which is being held at Allstate Arena in Chicago. And the show opened up tonight with Paige coming out, and she goes on to say that Backlash was a success. And I'm like, Paige, nobody's going to agree with you with that. Because Backlash fucking sucked. It was a piece of shit. So, nobody is going to agree with Paige on that. And she goes on to say that we witnessed a success from Daniel Bryan when he defeated Big Cass. And we saw a surprising victory from Carmella, still retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship. She goes on to say that, you know, this year's Money in the Bank will have two Money in the Bank matches. One for the men, of course, and one for the women. And, you know, she wants the best, you know, that SmackDown could offer. And she says, you know, the qualifying matches are going to start right now. So they get, you know, the match is on the way. The first match, the first Money in the Bank qualifying match was The Miz versus Jeff Hardy, and this was a decent, enjoyable, good match. I really liked this match. Miz and Jeff Hardy were entertaining during the match. Miz, very impressive. The Miz got the win, and he won with a roll-up on Jeff Hardy, because Jeff Hardy went for the Swanton Bomb. He ended up covering the Miz, but Miz ended up rolling up Jeff Hardy, and so the Miz wins, and now he qualifies for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So, yeah, all in all, it was a enjoyable match. It was a decent, enjoyable match. Really liked it. Flowed really well. Then we see Cesaro and Sheamus backstage. You know, Sheamus was seen eating Lucky Charms. He says, you know, because it makes him feel better, you know, after he got beat by Xavier last week, by Xavier Woods last week. And Sheamus says to Cesaro to face Xavier Woods tonight and see if he's better, to see if Cesaro is better at, you know, beating Xavier. And we see then Cesaro open up his gear bag, and inside of the bag we see pancakes. And Sheamus goes to open his, and it's filled with pancakes also. And then we hear Sheamus go, "I hate pancakes," because both of their bags were full of pancakes, which was funny though. It was funny. Then we had Renee Young interview Shinsuke Nakamura about his, you know, issue. Is his issue with AJ Styles over? Technically, Renee said Nakamura is not able to come, is not fully medical to compete tonight. And Nakamura says, you know, him and AJ's feud is not over. And then he says to Renee, "Speak English." And the crowd, we hear, you know, laughing at that. He says, you know, he forgot his English so no speak English. It was funny though how he says the no speak English saying. But then he goes on to say that AJ Styles is nuts, but so is he. And he goes on to say that him and Styles are not finished. So their feud is going to continue on. So it was funny. It was funny with Nakamura, how he always says, the speak English, no speak English. So then, just like on Raw last night, we had certain superstars cutting promos about them wanting to be them wanting to qualify and be in Money in the Bank. But Carmella ended up cutting a promo saying how she beat Charlotte at Backlash. She brags about Carmella is like bragging about it, saying, "Oh, I beat Charlotte, I beat Charlotte," and she says next week on SmackDown, which is going to be in London. So next week's Raw and SmackDown, they're going to be taped, and whenever they're overseas, you could tell it's not going to be a great show, because usually when they're overseas, it's taped and it's like not the greatest shows when they're overseas, in my opinion. But she says, Carmella says next week she'll be throwing a Melibration. I guess another celebration of her retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship and celebrating over it. So, and then we had Ty Dillinger kind of promo about him wanting to be in Money in the Bank. And he says it adds up to a perfect 10. So that was that. Ty Dillinger, he just got it. Looked like he just got a haircut. So, but I would like to see Ty Dillinger in Money in the Bank. I mean, at least give him something other than making him more of a jobber, because Ty Dillinger deserves better. And then we got a promo from Naomi saying she will be champion again, once she retrieves the Money in the Bank contract. Maybe, she wants to qualify for the Women's Money in the Bank, so she could win the SmackDown Women's, championship later on if she wins the Money in the Bank, the Women's Money in the Bank. Then we had Charlotte versus Peyton Royce in a Money in the Bank qualifying match, for the Women's Money in the Bank. You had the icon. You had Peyton Royce and Billie Kay come out. Billie says to Charlotte, they are sorry for her loss at Backlash. And Billie goes on to say that, Charlotte is an inspiration. She ends up saying her uncle had a awful stutter his whole life, and when he saw Charlotte's face after her loss at Backlash, he went into hysterics, and it cured his stutter. Like she said, he fell off the couch, because on the Titantron they showed Charlotte's upset face when she lost at Backlash. So that picture of her was on the Titantron. So the match got underway. Charlotte versus Peyton Royce. And this was a decent match. It was back and forth between Charlotte and Peyton Royce. I wanted Peyton Royce to win the match. Charlotte's already been in like 2 Money in the Bank matches. She's been in the first ever Women's Money in the Bank, which was at last year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and she was also in the rematch for the Women's Money in the Bank, which happened on SmackDown. So I would like to see Peyton Royce win it. Have someone new go on to be in the Women's Money in the Bank. But you had at one point a match where Charlotte was distracted by Billy Kay, and Peyton ended up hitting a neck breaker to Charlotte outside of the ring. I mean, outside, at ringside. But Charlotte ended up getting the win with the figure eight. She did the figure four and countered it into a figure eight. Peyton Royce ended up tapping out. So Charlotte wins. Charlotte is going to be in her third Money in the Bank, in the third Women's Money in the Bank match. So, but like I said, would have loved to seen Peyton Royce win it, or win the match, and have her go into the Women's Money in the Bank, have somebody new. But they decide to go with Charlotte. They do it for Charlotte. Like I said, how they do it for Roman, they do it for Charlotte because she's a Flair. So they want to keep her. They want to have Charlotte have a good reputation. So, but all in all, it was a decent match between Charlotte and Peyton Royce. Then we had Daniel Bryan being interviewed backstage. Daniel Bryan says, Big Cass attacked him because Daniel Bryan ended up making Big Cass tap out. And tonight he says he will fight, and find the way, and qualify to be in the Money in the Bank match. So it was a good interview with Daniel Bryan. Then we had Cesaro versus Xavier Woods. Of course, we had Kofi Kingston and Big E at ringside. Also, Cesaro was. Also, Sheamus was out there. And the match itself, it was decent. It was back and forth between Cesaro and Xavier Woods. Cesaro really liked in the match. But in the end, Xavier Woods looked like he was getting ready to finish the match and hit his finisher. But Cesaro ended up hitting the Swiss Death, the uppercut to Xavier Woods to score the win. And so Cesaro ends up win the match. So, but all in all, it was a decent match. Then we had Renee Young interviewing AJ Styles about him being concerned about Nakamura. Styles says, oh, has Nakamura learned how to speak English again? And he goes on to say that he's not done with Nakamura. And Styles ends up saying, if Nakamura has the guts to step in the ring with him, he is going to finish it. And, that was the interview. It was a little interview with AJ Styles. You saw, Styles' bruise that he got, on his face from, when the chair ricocheted off of Nakamura and hit Styles at Backlash, where he was bleeding. Then we had the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan. They ended up cutting a promo. Eric Rowan was saying, we have our own set of toys, because there was a, New Day figure there. We saw a club, shirt, Gallows and Anderson shirt there. And that's when Rowan said, we have our own set of toys. And then Luke Harper says, we are waiting. And, the promo ends. there's a little promo from the Bludgeon Brothers. Them saying they're putting the whole SmackDown tag team division on notice. Then we had Mandy Rose versus Becky Lynch. This was announced last week, and we saw Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville backstage, and Mandy Rose wanted Sonya Deville in her corner out there. Paige ends up coming and tells Sonya that she is barred from ringside, meaning she can't. Sonya Deville can't be out there during Mandy's match tonight. So the match got underway. It was okay. It wasn't that good of a match, in my opinion. I like Becky Lynch in the match. Mandy Rose, not the greatest in the ring, but she's definitely hot. But Mandy Rose ended up getting the win with the roll up on Becky Lynch. So it was quite a shock. Mandy Rose winning a match, singles competition. It was shocking to me. So, but all in all, it was okay match. It wasn't that good of a match. Then we had the main event, which was Rusev versus Daniel Bryan in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Aiden English comes out and says, will Daniel win tonight? And, he ends up saying no, and then, it's Rusev Day. But the match got underway after that. And the match itself, it was a decent main event. I really enjoyed this main event between Rusev and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan still entertaining in the ring. The crowd is behind him. And he's trying everything to take down Rusev. But at the end of the match, Rusev ended up winning. He ended up hitting the Machka kick to Daniel Bryan. So Rusev wins the match and now qualifies for the men's Money in the Bank, which was shocking though, because I would really like to see Daniel Bryan in a Money in the Bank match again. But I thought Big Cass was going to come out and attack Daniel Bryan, but he wasn't here tonight. So, but maybe maybe they're gonna continue the feud between Big Cass and Daniel Bryan, or maybe not. But who knows? But Rusev is now qualified for the men's Money in the Bank match, and SmackDown ended with the look of disappointment on Daniel Bryan's face. So, but it sucks for Daniel Bryan. Really would like to see him in the the Money in the Bank match again. But Rusev, when you think about it, he needed the win. Rusev needed the win. So yeah. So anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's edition of SmackDown. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and until the next video, I'll see you all later.